topped up with unbelievable amount of goals this season in comparison to last season. So you're looking for those midfield runners to go and get beyond, and you need to feed Kyogo. So I think for Celtic, you know, the lack of chances created is because they've not been good enough in the wide areas at times. So the wide areas are going to be key for both sides, I have to say. But for Celtic, they want to go and try and get in behind that Rangers defence, get balls flashed across, whether that be to the wide men to cross them, whether it be the midfielders, O'Reilly and Bernardo making those runs beyond. It has to be the area that Celtic go, because they're not going to be a team that sit back and try and they can hit the counter, but it's not the way they want to play. They want to dominate the ball, they want to get it forward, and they want to win the game in style.
Yeah, well, Rangers will want to have something to say about that too, and they will have to nullify a huge home crowd. No Rangers fans in attendance today. It is just the Chris is looking at me. Let's go to commentary instead. Enough of that. Kenny Miller and Chris Sutton are alongside Ian Crocker.
Thank you, Ailey. Let's have a look at the men who matter on Derby Day in Glasgow. Brendan Rodgers has only lost one of 14 Old Firm games. Joe Hart has played in some big derbies. Cameron Carter-Vickers is injured, so Stephen Welsh makes just his second start of the season. There's a first derby for Paulo Bernardo after his first Celtic goal at Dundee. There's an Old Firm initiation too for Luis Palma. Kyogo has scored 6 goals in his last 5 starts against Rangers. Reo Hatate makes the bench after 2 months out, and so does Lee Labada, whose last game was the September derby. Mike Nawrocki is also a sub. It's a first at Old Firm for Philippe Clement. Jack Butland has been outstanding. Conor Goldson is okay to play, but Borna Barisic hasn't made it. John Lundstrom is back though. Dujon Sterling is called upon in midfield again. It's Ross McCausland's first derby. Abdallah Sima has scored 5 goals in the last 7 games. And Cyril Dessers has scored 4 in his last 6. Kieran Dowell drops to a bench that includes Jose Cifuentes after injury. So much for the season of goodwill. It is Old Firm time again as this riveting rivalry resumes. This is the derby. The players, the managers and the fans will all tell you the same thing. There is nothing quite like it. But then what else could possibly match up to Celtic against Rangers? Day in Glasgow is about to heat up. A happy new year for the winners, a winter break in which to stew for the losers. Whatever happens today, there's a long way to go, but when the season is reviewed, it could be looked upon as a defining day. One of the managers has been there, seen it, done it in this fixture. The other is about to find out what one of the most famous fixtures in football is all about. Nick Walsh is the referee, and Willie Collum is on VAR duty. Rodgers scored the fastest Old Firm goal, but still lost sadly. What's happening today, Chris?
Oh, well, as usual, who knows? Interesting, just looking at the way Celtic look to set up. It looks like Palmer is going to start off that left-hand side. Risk and reward, but fascinating battle. Celtic have been inconsistent this season. Rangers have showed great consistency since the new manager has come in, so who knows, Kenny?
And it will be intriguing, that battle. You see Palmer across there. Maeda's always done a good job against James Tavernier in this fixture. Again, sometimes more so going the other way and tracking James Tavernier back. So a really interesting battle on that side of the pitch.
It's a lunchtime kick-off that actually looks like an evening kick-off on a gloomy day in Glasgow. Snow was falling all around us earlier, but that's away now. And Greg Taylor is away now for Celtic. Take long for a free kick. And a Goldson pass fit. John Lundstrom to Kyogo, who has been a little bit out of sorts lately, but he always comes alive on Derby Day as Dessers gives Scales a hard time.
Yeah, positive start there for Dessers. You can see the energy. That's what you need at the start of these games. Getting that pressure onto the Celtic backline.
Might have been able to go top today had the game against Ross County not being postponed. As it is, it would appear there is a title race in the offing. Whatever happens today, with Rangers having a couple of games in hand.
It's interesting also there just to see Cantwell. Leave him when that throw was getting taken. He was right in and around the area of McGregor. He's not wanting him to get on the ball and dictate the game the way he did in this first game at Ibrox.
Goldson up towards McCausland. Sterling again, who did start that derby back in September as well.
And this is where I think Rangers can cause Celtic one or two problems. Set plays, Balogun going forward, Goldson going forward. Celtic will have to make sure they defend these strongly.
An early opportunity for the Rangers captain to send this in. And a goal here would certainly silence this iconic arena. Tavernier's free kick not the best, cleared by Kyogo. It will be the usual fast and frantic start to an Old Firm.
That's another fascinating battle, I think. Seamer against Alistair Johnston. Seamer likes to make those movements in behind. Johnston will have to be absolutely switched on.
Scoring first has only lost 5 of the last 101 league derbies between these two. That's some pass for Tavernier, not quite matched by the cross.
And you can see early as well, I think they were touching, the lads were talking in the studio about Rangers not scared to put the ball forward over the top. They don't need that slow build up, they're quite willing to put the ball forward over the top.
Lundstrom sliding in superbly for Rangers, and they'll be glad to have him back for this one, his kind of game.
Listen, it's big game for John Lundstrom there. It's massive that he's passed, but I think in the middle there you see Sterling and Lundstrom, real physicality, good legs, and they're going to need that because you expect Celtic, once the game settles, to probably have the lion's share of possession.
Celtic have so often been used to fast starts in these games in recent years. Back to one ball on the pitch, thankfully. McGregor, and Kyogo is going to latch onto this. Maida waiting if he can continue, and Butland had to guard that near post.
He's just hesitant there, Connor Goldson. Goldson and Balogun are going to get tested as Kyogo's movement and sharpness gets back and just does enough there. Goldson sending him wide.
Welsh and Scales, the centre half, move in there. It's Lewis Palmer's corner, met by Goldson. Not much distance on that though. O'Reilly rises. Kyogo taken away by Cantwell. He's getting the treatment from the Celtic fans, but he won't mind that one bit. All part of the fun. Dessers, who has started to score a few goals after a difficult start to his Rangers career. It's a very heavy touch from Rit van Yilmaz, and O'Reilly now for Maida.
Bit scrappy there for O'Reilly. Again, he's better than that. Should have had a bit more composure on the ball to pick the pass.
Goldson for Tavernier. Here's McCausland. Philippe Clement once again showing great faith in McCausland.
It's a test for Liam McCausland on that side as well. I mean, Greg Taylor's not been in great form of late, you know, so again it's another one of these battles that just pops up all over the pitch.
Lundstrom. Charleston gets there, ahead of Seema. Mistake from Bernardo. Cantwell sees off Bernardo. Tavernier. McCausland has got to this. Big chance, and Dessers, and Cantwell. And Celtic block it, and Johnston hooks it away. What an opening that was.
Yes, a good run from McCausland on that right-hand side, beyond the Celtic back line. That's been a tactic from Rangers early. Early cross. The Celtic scramble the ball to safety, but early warning signs.
Yeah, that's a trademark Celtic run, that little run from in to out. Great movement from McCausland, and the pass was perfect for Tavernier.
Go, McCausland onside.
Well, Taylor actually does well not to get involved with it, because it could have been a stonewall penalty.
Van Yilmaz's cross is picked up by his opposite fullback, Tavernier. O'Reilly, and now suddenly it opens up for Celtic. Maida's the pass here from McGregor. From one end to the other, but Maida's touch was never comfortable.
Yeah, it's an opportunity missed there for Celtic. Callum McGregor, I thought he maybe released the ball a little bit too early. He could have drove on and maybe committed the Rangers backline, but when he gives it to Maeda, he should really be doing a lot better. He miscontrols it, he's indecisive with his action.
Sterling and Tavernier cope with the pressure. McCausland, Cantwell nearby, but Callum McGregor will pick that up again. Maida.
All the good things so far from Rangers' perspective, and the Celtic left, the Rangers right.
Lewis Palmer. O'Reilly. It's Maida. Sterling with a crucial intervention.
That's what he's in there to do, sense the danger and snuff it out.
Taylor. Palmer. Palmer just got away from Tavernier. Taylor won his duel with McCausland. Callum McGregor now. behind by Tavernier from Welsh's cross.
He did the right thing. Took no chances from the Rangers' perspective.
Celtic will have an early goal in this fixture. 10 minutes played. Palmer's corner screened by Yilmaz. Second chance maybe. Outside of the boot. Away by Butland. Just as well because Stephen Welsh was waiting to pounce. Celtic haven't finished with Rangers yet here. O'Reilly. Lovely cross in. Palmer. Hooked away by Yilmaz.
Yeah, pressure building here for Celtic. You know they've got Rangers penned in. It's exactly where they want to be.
Taylor. Palmer. Away by Balogun. Cantwell now offering brief respite as McGregor wins it back, much to the delight of, well, everyone actually inside Celtic Park with no away fans, sadly. Palmer. That's some cross! And Bernardo coming in and almost giving Celtic the lead.
Some cross, some chance. Celtic should be one up. The timing of his run is excellent. Gets up. The cross superb from Lewis Palmer. Bang on the money.
He's got to be glancing that into the back post there, Chris, isn't he?
Well, he's got to be hitting the target. That's not a difficult one. He's seen it all the way. At least make Butland make a save.
Seamer. Rangers surviving a mini spell from Celtic there.
All the talk before the game in the Celtic camp of the need to be ruthless, the need to be clinical.
Godson caught by Paolo Bernardo.
He's late. I think he just stands on Conor Goldson's toe there. There's nothing much in. I think you've got to be expecting those types of tackles in a game like this.
You two would have been on the end of a few of those, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've been on a right few actually. I think one of the most famous ones, infamous in my eyes.
Lundstrom. Yilmaz. He's away from Maida. His pass is going to a fellow left back though in Taylor.
Great drop of the shoulder though, wasn't it, to create the opportunity. Really wasteful with the pass.
Bernardo. Matt O'Reilly. Taylor now for Lewis Palmer, but Tavernier onto it. Liam Scales is always going to get there ahead of McCausland, and that's the kind of challenge they love on Derby Day.
It's full-blooded and he needed to get it right. McCausland was just looking to put it round the corner for Dessers, who had made a forward run, but he timed it perfectly, Scales.
Celtic edged the first derby of the season back in September at Ibrox. Kyogo scoring in first half stoppage time. How will the second one pan out?
You know, just watching that Rangers to Cantwell and Dessers, they're trying to stop McGregor, and it's that pendulum movement. One goes to one centre-back, the other one drops onto McGregor. But it gives you a lot of work when you've got Joe Hart and leaves the other centre-back spare. You need to get McCausland up or a midfielder up to play either part in that press.
John Sterling picks this up for Rangers. Dessers. Cantwell didn't connect.
Great spot, wasn't it, from Sterling?
Balogun, he didn't seem to appreciate the closeness of Maida.
Well, he got lucky, didn't he? It's ridiculous from Balogun.
With Van Yilmaz. Stopped by Welsh. McGregor. Johnston. O'Reilly. Kyogo for Taylor. Taylor back to Kyogo, but pinched by McCausland. Versus Tavernier. Nicely done from McCausland. Cantwell has Seamer to his left. Nobody's to the right though.
Oh, that's a massive waste from Cantwell. And a 3-2, I think, at one stage there. Rangers end to end. Good start to the game.
Again, you expect better from him. That's where you want him to be picking the ball up, and he could have released Seamer, could have tried to find Dessers, who's made a little movement. Ultimately does nothing, doesn't get a shot away, doesn't pick the pass.
Stephen Marsh took a knock there, the man who is actually making his 6th Old Firm start. He doesn't know all about this occasion, but caught upon in the absence of Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Celtic's build-up play at this moment in time, not being able to beat the Rangers press.
Seamer. Johnston came back for more, and this is going to be the first yellow card of the contest, and a handy free kick for Rangers.
Yeah, it's in a perfect area for Tavernier to either pull it into the near post if he's shooting, if not just guide it towards that back post and get the runners across Joe Hart. And Seamer just does Johnston there on the very good touch to control, and just does him with the body movement. He's always going to cut inside Seamer. He wants to get the ball back on his right foot. Johnston picks up the yellow card for the foul.
What do you reckon? Can he? Will he be tempted to have a pop himself here, James Tavernier?
You know, he'll be, if he is, he's going to go near post, but I think he'll be more kind of looking for the runners, the Dessers, Seamer, Colson, getting across Joe Hart, and he might just find it kind of angling towards the back post. See Joe Hart's position also, he's probably very aware that it could go near post.
James Tavernier, so often the man to make things happen for Rangers and to score goals himself. Maida and McGregor ordered back a bit. Will this be a pivotal moment? Tavernier, no, cleared by Kyogo. Lundstrom. Balogun has a swing. Tavernier.
It's been 2 poor deliveries to James Tavernier from free kicks in good positions. You expect better from him in those areas, but he's hit Kyogo both times.
Maybe 3rd time lucky. Johnston. Maida. Away by Balogun. Won by Welsh. Given away by Seamer. McGregor now. Bernardo. Taylor. Celtic working it around, moving it about. Goldson will clear that as Palmer looked for Taylor.
Very hard runs to match them from Taylor when he's in that inside position, making those forward runs.
Oh, McCausland just tipped to it by Johnson. Cantwell. McCausland. Seamer. Way off target. He's capable of much better.
Yeah, but brilliant combination play to create the chance. You're right, Ian. Had a time to set himself. Disappointing finish.
Yeah, you've seen him kind of guide that. He just wants to get the side foot and wrap it around it. Aim for that post and let it come in. Seen it earlier in the season from Seamer. He's got the capabilities, got that one all wrong.
Cameron Carter-Vickers sitting this one out, and Roy Keane here taking in the game. He played in 2 derbies, won 1 and drew 1. Didn't lose one, typically. "20 minutes that have flown by."
It's been pretty level as well, I'd say, Ian. It's been end-to-end stuff.
O'Reilly, Maida, oh, he's in here, Dyson Maida with the cross, and Kyogo just missed out. The flag has gone up actually for offside in the end.
Lovely weighted pass from Matt O'Reilly. Let's have a look here. Yeah, he does go just slightly early. Always frustrating when the assistant flags so late.
We're just watching Kyogo's movement in the middle though. He darts to that front post and then just dives in behind goals, and he was ever so close.
Clermont unbeaten in his first 16 matches. Their start for a Rangers manager since Alex McLeish, OBE. William Wilson went 20 unbeaten back at the end of the 1890s. Remember it well. Callum McGregor. Johnston swerves Lundstrom and strikes the challenge of Sterling and finds Maida. Van Yilmaz wants to make sure of a goal kick and does.
They worked the way out well, Celtic. Clever play from Alistair Johnson, but Yilmaz put the burners on in the foot race with Dyson Maida.
Causland lost possession. Oh, it's into the side netting from Paulo Bernardo.
And it's a brilliant chance for Bernardo, but I've watched Rangers do this a few times. That ball, that straight pass into McCausland is just begging to be pressed. He's getting pressed for the back, he's getting pressed for the front, he turns the ball over, and Bernardo unleashes a shot at Jack Butland's near post. And to be honest, I thought it was in when I seen that net ripple, as the Celtic fans did behind the goal.
First quarter of the derby down, 0-0, and a foul by Campbell on McGregor, who's straight up on his feet just to get on with it.
Yeah, he wants to keep the tempo, doesn't he, Callum McGregor? He knows Celtic, that's the way they want to play, they want to be getting the ball moving quickly.
Bernardo, stopped by Goldson. Palmer, Taylor. Bernardo, Palmer, looking for Matt O'Reilly in the box. Lundstrom uses Butland.
With a quick free kick there, Rangers have been caught out a few times against Celtic over the last few seasons. Just with these quick free kicks, you have to get someone standing on the ball and at least switch on that there's an opportunity for Celtic to play.
Lovely flip from Palmer. Bernardo, McGregor, Maida, Taylor, back to Lewis Palmer, Greg Taylor, and it's been diverted for a corner.
Yep, good link up on the Celtic left once again. And Palmer, you know, is always trying to work, try and get inside on that favoured right foot, aware enough to pop it off.
Started really well, Palmer, in the opening 25 minutes, looks a real threat.
Celtic hopeful here. Lewis Palmer whips the corner in. Oh, what a strike that is! Paulo Bernardo! The power and the glory! Celtic have the lead on Derby Day, and the first goal in these games is usually crucial.
Well, Rangers don't defend the corner well, but this is a Bernardo bullet. What a strike this is! It sits up and he catches it absolutely perfectly in and around the penalty spot. Bang! That's a wonderful, wonderful finish. Had a couple of earlier chances, but he hits that absolutely flush. It's a poor defensive header from Rangers. Bernardo onto it. Even someone of Butland's quality this season, he's nowhere near it.
And it was third time lucky in, it was third time lucky for Paulo Bernardo. He had a header earlier, glanced it past the post, and he's just pulled a shot past the post a couple of minutes ago, but he catches this one. So sweet, perfect technique, wonderful finish.
The yellow card has been shown to Bernardo for his celebration there by Nick Walsh. But it's 2 goals in 2 games for him. That one slightly more spectacular than his toe poke at Dens Park.
Still not convinced he got a touch on that here. I've not seen it back, to be honest.
If you Celtic fans had been wondering what Paulo Bernardo brings to the party, well, they might just be finding out now.
Yep, I think it's fair to say he's had a pretty slow start at Celtic. He made his mark so far today. I think it's always a harsh one when a player gets booked for celebrating with his fans.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, and that was a tremendous try from Paulo Bernardo.
Yeah, I must say, I think it's a poor header to Simo, wasn't it? He gets into a good position. That's got to go back where it came from, not into the middle of the goal.
McGregor, veteran of these occasions now. You can see how much he's up for it. Johnston whipping that cross in, taken away by Balogun and put behind by Tavernier.
I tell you, that's one hell of an early ball from Alistair Johnson. Always difficult to defend. There goes Balogun with the first touch. Tavernier once again playing it safe.
It's just stepped up a notch as well for Celtic now since the goal.
Lewis Palmer's corner is too high.
Well, watching the game against Dundee, I think it was 20 corners or 20 odd corners, and Palmer got so much of them wrong. It's like he's trying to shoot Chris from the corner, whether it be into the back post or into the front area, where you'd be well just getting it into the mixer and letting the lads go and have a tack it.
Who've been tried in the Rio Hatate position. Hatate is on the bench after injury today, so too Lil Abada. Johnston. It's only the 3rd goal Rangers have conceded on their Scottish Premiership travels this season. Beaten on the road since the opening day at Kilmarnock. A big response from Rangers is required. Sterling has picked out Ridvan Yilmaz. Early ball in, off the head of Welsh. Canwell. McCausland. And that's veered away from Edward.
Yeah, it's not a great angle for the cross of that left foot, trying to curl it in the way. It's always moving away for your teammates.
"16 of Celtic's last 20 Premiership goals against Rangers have come in the first half."
They've been very good in the games, particularly here at Celtic Park. Real dominant in the early stage of the game. I think there's a 3 at half-time, 2 seasons in a row.
Scales. Palmer. Celtic's throw. Rangers throw for their captain Tavernier. Lundstrom. These things can happen.
They call that an air shot, don't they?
There might be a few words for it. Greg Taylor will take this throw. Lewis Palmer. Taylor happy to accept another throw. Riley battling away. Taylor suddenly in. Kyogo. Rangers hanging on grimly.
Do not understand why Taylor doesn't go for goal himself there.
He's got to shoot there, Chris. He does great to get in there. He's got to just swing his leg at that and get a shot. He's so close to the goal. It would have been so hard for Jack Butland to react.
Corner of the 6-yard box there.
Dessers has pounced on that. Welsh down hurt. It's Cyril Dessers, and he took far too long.
He's just dwelling on it, Ian. You know, he's got in there. I must say, I don't know what Liam Scales is doing. He's staying away from it and allowing Alistair Johnson to track all the way back. He should really have been coming across, but it just takes too long, Dessers. He's got to open up and get his shot away.
Just a real lack of conviction from Dessers there. Lack of belief, I think, in those situations. Be more direct. Here's the Taylor one. Why can he not just fire a shot off there?
Yeah, you know yourself, you shoot for there, it can get deflections, you can block, it could fall to your teammate. Everything's on the positive if you shoot there.
Stephen Welsh is receiving treatment at the moment, and that will be a concern. He held his shoulder not long after he went down. He's only playing, of course, because Cameron Carter-Vickers is also injured. They have named Mike Nawrocki, who we haven't seen much of, on the bench today, and he's warming up.
He's had very little game time as well. He gets his opportunity. How fit will he be? Here we go. Careless pass from Alistair Johnson. Now we see Welsh trying to retrieve the situation. He may have been better served to just stay on his feet and not gamble. But Dessers just decelerates at a moment where he should be accelerating and getting a shot off. That's a huge chance, Kenny.
You know, and I don't even think he got the ball out his feet onto his right foot well enough to actually go and get the shot away. I mean, that's the exact position he was coming in on the Betis game, where he goes in and he scores the goal. He showed great ability to get there in the first place, but it's a real opportunity missed.
It's the Greg Taylor one again. O'Reilly holds the ball up well. Could he just not go outside of the left or even his weaker right foot?
You've got to just smash that into the ground there when you're that close to the goal.
It is game over for Stephen Welsh, and that's a blow for Celtic. Carter-Vickers out, and Welsh going off. They're going to have to call on the Polish defender Mike Nawrocki for his Old Firm initiation, and he hasn't played since starting the first 3 games of the season.
Yep, all the best, Mike. Not an easy situation to come into at all. Feel for Stephen Welsh at his opportunity.
First sighting since early season. Artevik is out injured, Welsh now injured, and Nawrocki is on. Ten minutes to half-time. Celtic ahead through a wonderful strike from Paolo Bernardo. Rangers had to dig deep to protect their unbeaten record under Philippe Clement at Aberdeen when an injury time penalty saved the day.
Had to do it a few times this season, again at Hearts as well, at Ibrox. I'm thinking too, there was a real late show that day as well. They've shown they've got the capability to come back.
They have the spirit, they have the character, and those two things are a must in a game like this. O'Reilly, away by Goldson. Maida. Scales. Given away to Tavernier. Now, will this be an issue for Celtic? They're regrouping. Dessers. Tavernier. Bounced off Bernardo.
Where most of Celtic's problems have come from, where they've been careless in possession.
That was really sloppy for Scales there. He steps in great as well. He's just trying to pick out Palmer, gets the pass all wrong. Tavernier cuts it out. There was no real Rangers players breaking their neck to get forward in that transition.
Sterling towards McCausland, but Scales has his eye on that. Well, McCausland has suddenly latched onto that, and it's blocked by Nawrocki.
Well, how does that happen from a Celtic perspective?
Cadwell! And that sticks with Joe Hart.
It's so poor. McCausland should do much better. And Rangers have had a couple of huge opportunities in this first half, not taking them, but that's one long ball, one long punt. The Celtic backline switch off. McCausland didn't. But that's another big chance. Why is Taylor not reacting quicker? Liam Scales, they're all waiting, looking at each other.
And there you go, there's a sign straight away. How is that going to impact that Celtic backline? Miscommunication, maybe players that don't really know what they're doing, but that was really poor.
There's a yellow card being shown to the Rangers manager, Philippe Clement. Welcome to the Old Firm, Philip. Sima. Stopped in his tracks. Philippe Clement shown a yellow card. It's a foul by Dessers, but again, it could have been a careless moment.
I've got to say, a couple of heart attack passes, first from Nawrocki and then from Joe Hart, where they just got there.
We'll say they were well in control, Chris. I'm not sure Brendan Rodgers would feel the same.
Living dangerously. Lundstrom. Cantwell. Shrugs off McGregor. Balogun. He has to be careful with Maida around. He was. Seaman now, up against Nawrocki. Nawrocki gets the ball, but Rangers have a corner to give them encouragement.
Actually a good advantage from Nick Walsh. I think he's right to bring out the card to O'Reilly, who lunges. He's late there. Advantage played, and Nawrocki just about got the job done, but this is problem territory for Celtic, or it has been this season. Set plays, corners.
O'Reilly receiving Celtic's third yellow card as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. What Rangers would give for a goal here. Walsh just having a look around to see who's clutching who. Campbell's corner, away by Johnston, helped on its way even further by Bernardo. Cantwell, Celtic's throw. Cantwell, Lundstrom, McCausland, struck it well, saved by Hart. Tavernier as Rangers try desperately to keep this alive. Lundstrom, Seamer, and goal kick is the verdict.
Just a smart save from Joe Hart, but McCausland really direct, little shift, goes across Hart, good right hand, and Campbell was nearly on hand to poke it in, but those 1v1 situations, that's where he's really effective, Kenny.
And he looks isolated as well, Taylor. You know, there's no cover, there's no anybody tracking back for him. Big effort there from McCausland. It was a strong right hand to Hart.
Willie Collum on VAR is just having a look at this.
Whose hand does it hit there?
It's actually a lengthy check from Willie Collum. Rangers haven't had a penalty here since 2010, scored by Kenny Miller. But the check is complete, and on we go.
So that's the last time Rangers will appeal to you, 10. There you go. To forget penalty Rangers, Chris.
Celtic creating some of their own issues at the moment as Cantwell tracks McGregor. And those two grappling. And Nick Walsh steps in.
Well, the noise in here, I don't think the players can hear Nick Walsh's whistle.
Scales. Lundstrom has nearly set that up for O'Reilly to find Nawrocki. Kept in by Maida. Nawrocki. McGregor. Tavernier holds it up. Bernardo gets there though, and now Lewis Palmer. Greg Taylor making his trademark run in the box, but Ross McCausland on defensive watch.
Yeah, he's really disciplined there, McCausland. There's Taylor on the underlap again. Lewis Palmer, such great awareness to spot him.
It's a free kick. Johnston on Seamer. As it stands, there will be a couple of minutes added on in this first half. Tavernier wins it back off Palmer. McCausland! That's a free kick as Callum McGregor moved in.
Yeah, a bit sloppy play, both teams turning the ball over. At least just a coming together between McCausland and McGregor. It's a free kick, I think that's all.
Two minutes of stoppage time is confirmed. Rangers fancying a response to Paulo Bernardo's brilliance of earlier. A hush around Celtic Park as Tavernier floats it towards Conor Goldson. And a foul given against him on O'Reilly.
Yeah, I don't like the ball, the floaty ball that you're going to have to win the first header, potentially win the second header.
The final game before the winter break sees Celtic go to St Mirren, and we're with them at the later time of 4:30 on Tuesday, Sky Sports Football. Rangers home to Kilmarnock, and then they're heading to Spain for training and for a behind closed doors game against Hertha Berlin. They do have a friendly in the middle of January at Ibrox against FC Copenhagen. Ryder and Balogun. Sterling. Lundstrom. Cantwell. Can Rangers fashion one more chance before the break? They put a lot into this game themselves. They might feel rather aggrieved to be behind. Palmer. I bet he couldn't do that again if he tried. Sterling. McCausland over there too. And that's a free kick. A free kick in which to end the half. They couldn't, could they?
Well, Sterling draws the foul. Nick Walsh didn't give it. The assistant did. What an opportunity this is. Tavernier's delivery hasn't been on the money so far.
It's good play for Sterling, just reading that knockdown, that's him showing the legs, his physicality to get on there and drive forward, like you say, drawing that foul and giving Rangers this last chance before half time.
Tavernier is due a decent delivery in this game.
Better hurry up and take it before Nick Walsh goes for half time.
The last action of the first half. It's actually Yilmaz who's going to float that one in. Cleared by Kyogo, and now the whistle goes. Free kick.
I've seen a little bump in there. I didn't know if it was enough for a free kick, if that's what it's for.
There was a little shirt pull, wasn't there, from Dessers on Craig Taylor.
And it's Kyogo again, it cleared it.
The whistle will surely go on this. Goal kick from Joe Hart. Well, on a day like this, it helps when you can find someone to step forward and score a wonder goal. Paulo Bernardo did just that to give Celtic the advantage, but a huge opportunity spurned and squandered by Cyril Dessers, who took an eternity as he bore down on goal. So at half-time on Derby Day in Glasgow, it's Celtic 1, it's Rangers 0.
There are places in the quarter-finals of the World Darts Championship up for grabs at the Ali Pali today. Both sessions are available live for you over on Sky Sports Darts. But here at Celtic Park in the big one, between the two at the top, it is the league leaders who have themselves in front.
Lewis Palmer whips the corner in.
The greatest storyteller always had the perfect story whenever you needed to hear it. There were adventures that could stir the weariest soul, or even move you to tears. But surely a storyteller so great must be just another story, right?
Celtic with the lead, but that big talking point from the first half will also be the penalty that wasn't awarded to Rangers. We've checked with the Soccer Saturday referee Mike Dean. He agrees that it should have been a penalty. All three of you say the same. Why do you think it wasn't given by VAR, Neil?
Absolutely no idea. I don't know if it's because Alistair's maybe concentrating on seam and body contact, but the more you see it, particularly from behind the goal, it's pretty clear. It's accidental, but his hand makes contact with the ball, and like I say, this is a great shot of it. You know, he's trying to barge Seam out of the way, but it also stops Seam getting beyond Alistair and, you know, getting in maybe a cross-in or a cutback. I'd like to see what the outcome of that is going to be. Yeah, I mean, worst case, should they have asked the referee to take another look at the monitor? Yeah, I think so. I wonder if it's because Alistair Johnston's barging into Seema, they're trying to say that's a natural action or a natural position for that, you know, action. But I don't know. That's not what I think it should be. I just can't see why it wasn't called to the monitor at the very least. But why a penalty wasn't given then? Yeah, it's an interesting one, Chris. But ultimately, Rangers, as they make their way back out here, they have to move on from that, and they have to find a way back into this game.
Yeah, we won't move on from it, but we'll come back to it at full time. Yeah, they do. To be fair, I think Rangers have actually played okay in the first half. They created opportunities, but you know, when you come to Celtic Park and create the opportunities that they have, you've got to be taking them. But James Tavernier should have had the opportunity from the penalty spot as well, I'd imagine. For Celtic, they've got to keep McGregor on the ball. He's been magnificent first half, and if he's always in the game, then they've got a great chance. Second goal's pivotal now for the Muley. It absolutely is, and we will get to our commentary team for the second 45 and see what unfolds here and what has been an intriguing first 45 between these two. So talking you through the second half, Kenny Miller, Chris Sutton alongside Ian Crocker. Brendan Rodgers' only derby defeat in Glasgow came 5 years ago yesterday at Ibrox. Celtic are unbeaten in their last 13 home games against Rangers when they've scored first since 2010, when 2 goals from Kenny Miller turned the game, including Rangers' last penalty here. But quite clearly, they should have had one today, Kenny. They absolutely should have. I think you see it now, you see it back, particularly on that last shot where you can see Alistair Johnston, his hand just comes round and actually hooks the ball out of the pitch. It's a stonewall penalty. Absolutely no idea why Willie Collum hasn't called it. Walks across to the monitor. A huge decision. Celtic ready to start the second half. A goal to the good and a really good goal. "45 massive minutes remain." Walsh just checking his communications with Willie Collum. Here we go with the second half. Johnston immediately sent it out towards Maida. Celtic forced into a first half change. Stephen Walsh, who came in for the injured Cameron Carter-Vickers, injured himself, a shoulder issue. Mike Nawrocki on for his first action since the early weeks of the season. Luis Palma. Clipped by Tavernier.
Bit of contact, but I think Palmer bought that a little bit.
Celtic have 3 players on yellow cards: Johnston, Bernardo, O'Reilly. Rangers have their manager on one, Philippe Clermont. Maida. Here is Nawrocki. Riley, Kyogo could have slipped Maida in, but he decided to go it alone. Derby Day is Kyogo Day again, and Celtic have a firm grip on this Old Firm.
Well, right, Kyogo off at your peril. I have to say, when Dazen made the run, I thought you've got to slip him in, Kyogo. But he had other ideas. Little bit of movement to receive the ball. That shift and finish, absolutely stunning. Hasn't hit the heights of the previous season, Kyogo, but boy, what a finish that is with his weaker foot. Jack Butland, fingertips to it, but the strike is so good, Kenny.
It's an incredible finish, really. Just a shimmy as well. We move it from right to left, and he just bends it away for Jack Butland into the top corner. Sensational finish is for Kyogo, and what a start to the second half for Celtic.
Only his second goal in 10 games, Kyogo, but he was made for a match like this. 7 goals in his last 6 starts against Rangers. And a big blow for Rangers at the start of this half.
And it was a really good pass for Nawrocki as well, Chris, at the start of that, through to O'Reilly, who took the ball in and then released Kyogo, and Kyogo did the rest.
It actually took Kyogo 5 Old Firm matches to score, but it's done all right since.
Yeah, look, I think Brendan made the point in the week where, you know, teams defend deep naturally in Scotland, a lot of bodies in and around him, but this game is more open, suits him better. His movement is tremendous, first of all, to get the ball, and then the finish, phenomenal.
I'll tell you something, Chris, I always feel Celtic are more dangerous when he does come and show for those types of passes, to link, to get on the ball, to ask the questions rather than always going behind. This time he gets it on his feet, and listen, the touch, the movement and the finish was sensational.
Maida. Nawrocki, Dazen Maida. Johnston. Taylor. McGregor. Over there, halting Lewis Palmer.
Rangers at this moment, Kenny, just need to hang on in there.
Yeah, our Celtic's tails are up. There needs to be some kind of response, but they're going to need to weather this before they can get a grip back on it, because Celtic are all over Rangers at this moment in time, real control of the ball and asking a lot of questions.
Van Yilmaz, but Nawrocki has this. Scales, an awkward period to say the least this for Rangers, as they do look to just hang on in there. Celtic hungry for a third. Palmer. Maida brings that out the sky. Taylor. McGregor for Johnston. Kyogo, cleared by Balogun.
Greg Taylor's causing problems. The Rangers in that inverted position in midfield.
Sterling, Lundstrom. This is better from Rangers, and a bit of space here for Cantwell. Some respite for Rangers now.
Yeah, a little bit of respite from constant Celtic pressure there. That's where they want to be now, in the Celtic half, trying to build an attack of their own. That was strong defending for Nawrocki on Dessers, stepping in, getting the ball in front of him.
Of course, will stop this so that Matt O'Reilly can be checked.
Here we go, O'Reilly just takes a left-hander in the face, hence why the game stopped.
Now, going back to Rangers' potential penalty, we have since been told that there may well have been an offside in the build-up.
Yeah, maybe Seamer's left boot just offside in that situation, and hence that may be the big call, but I don't think it's necessarily been explained.
It's definitely not been communicated.
Well, we can't hear Willie Connor on VAR in our headphones. Would have been nice if he told us that in the first place, but left in the dark.
And even that, it did look tight there, so if there was an offside, it would have been, like you say, it would have been nice to have been for it to have been communicated through it.
This is painful for Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, what a finish from Celtic's top man.
Well, he scored 6 in 6 games against Michael Beale's Rangers. Kyogo rising to the occasion once more. Definitely out of sorts of late, but he did end his worst ever drought with his first goal in 8 games against Livingston last week. And he saves his best when Rangers are facing him.
Listen, some players just have good moments against certain teams, and it certainly seems like Kyogo is the man for the big occasion when it comes when the old firm comes around. But listen, we've seen that goal again. To beat a keeper of Jack Butland's quality, that's a full stretch Jack Butland going across his goal into the top corner there, and it only gets the tips of his fingers onto it. It's a wonderful finish.
This looks like a broken nose for Matt O'Reilly. Certainly very painful for him.
Yeah, you can see he's trying to nick the ball off Sterling, and Sterling with his left hand. It's accidental, flailing left hand.
Well, Philippe Clement's 60-match unbeaten run is under serious threat now.
And it was always going to be billed as a real test, well, particularly domestically, as the big test for Philippe Clement and his team coming to Celtic Park, no fans, to try and maintain this unbeaten record. And could they come and win and put themselves right in the mix at the top of the league? But at this moment in time, they've got a lot to do.
Well, it's carrying on, but I think he'll need a new shirt.
Yeah, well, there needs to be a quick decision made. But what do we know? That Brendan Rodgers will not want to lose Matt O'Reilly with his influence, the way he takes the ball, the way he links the play.
Bloody nose for Matt O'Reilly, but a bloody nose for Rangers here as Brendan Rodgers' side have full command of this derby. 2 brilliant goals from Bernardo and Kyogo, and Rangers somehow need to come up with something special themselves.
Well, they've got an opportunity here while Celtic are down to 10 men. They can try and get a hold of it in the grip of this game and potentially go and get something when Matt O'Reilly's off the pitch.
Passes like that, not doing them any favours. Alistair Johnston will take this throw. Joe Hart sending that towards Luis Palmer. Tavernier. Lundstrom. Balogun. Sterling. Matt O'Reilly having to change his shirt and his shorts. The Celtic try to get him back on. Still attending to his nose as well. Yilmaz. Away by Scales, and now Matt O'Reilly is back. Galton, Tavernier, McCausland. Rangers trying to gain a foothold in the derby. Ridvan Yilmaz, McCausland tried to return it, still has it. Sima. Lundstrom. Over towards Tavernier. Away by Taylor. Cantwell. It's a foul by Dujon Sterling on Paulo Bernardo. And a yellow card.
Yeah, I think Bernardo just nicks in front of him. And there we go.
You can see what Philippe Clement thinks of it. He says the shoulder barge, and I think you're right though. Bernardo just nicks in front of Sterling. I think it's a soft booking, to be honest, but does it stop a counter-attack? So maybe it's the right call.
Back with us as we approach the hour mark at Celtic Park, which is rocking at the moment with the fans doing the huddle.
I've got to say, Kenny, I think that's really harsh, that particular decision on Dessers. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, and he's right side, you know, he's got the boys' ball side. It's very harsh on Dessers.
Brendan Rodgers is speaking to David Turnbull. Cantwell, Lundstrom, trapped by McGregor, holds him off, could slip Dessers in here. He's got a bit to do yet, Dessers, and he's smacked it into the side netting.
Yeah, good play for John Lundstrom, and that's what he's in there to do. Drive forward, great legs, releases Dessers. He just shifts on his left, gets his shot away, but into the side net. And I must say, I thought Alistair Johnston looked a little bit leggy trying to get back there.
There is Johnston, intercepted by Yilmaz just as well, with Maida behind him. Taylor tidying up. Kyogo. Riley for Scales. Bernardo. Palmer. Bernardo, looked like he might get another shot away. Callum McGregor having a go too.
I think he should have left it to Matt O'Reilly, who possibly gave him the call.
Palmer, McCausland, actually broken for Lewis Palmer, straight through to Butland.
Yeah, it looks like Matt O'Reilly's struggling. I think his nose is continually bleeding. He's looking as if he was struggling to breathe a little bit there, O'Reilly. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe Turnbull's going to get the nod for him.
Tavernier. Johnson caught by Bernardo and...
Well, he needs to be careful, Bernardo, because he's already been booked.
Willie Collum is having a look at that challenge. We do know that, at least.
It's not a straight red, I know that, but and obviously it can't be looked at for a yellow, but that's a booking.
I think he's got away with one there, but you're quite right. Nick Walsh can't go and give him a yellow now if he didn't do it initially. Red or nothing. And that may be in Brendan Rodgers' mind now.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I think O'Reilly has a bloody nose, but Bernardo on a booking.
Might need to take both of them off, Chris.
By the way, there hasn't been a red card in an Old Firm match in any of the last 12. The last was shown to Callum McGregor a couple of years back. Dexter's looking to latch onto this. And a free kick as Seema is floored.
That's in the position. It's just a battle. He goes up for a header of Alistair Johnson. Yep, there's a forearm across Seema's face. And this is an opportunity, a perfect angle, a good distance for James Tavernier.
Rangers are actually going to pit Celtic to making a change here with Kieran Dowell about to come on, and we think it might be Todd Cantwell to make way. Dowell started the last two games, scored at Motherwell. Seema needs treatment.
Here's another player, Alistair Johnson, who needs to be careful. He's on a yellow.
He's got to be one foul. I think that's 3, maybe even 4 fouls since his yellow that Alistair Johnson's had. So you see, there's a couple of Celtic players just walking a tightrope at the moment.
Anthony Ralston on the bench must be crossing Brendan's mind. But this is Tavernier territory, isn't it?
It's a perfect angle, Chris. I think it's a really good distance as well to get it up and down over that wall. So he's shown many times. And again, in these moments when Rangers need someone to step up, more often than not, it's been him.
Doctor there, checking on Abdallah Seema. And there will be a long wait whilst they make sure of things here, and Kieran Dowell waiting in the wings. Well, let's go back to Rangers' potential penalty then, and more importantly the offside just before. There you go, chaps.
Yep, well, of course, because it was offside, it doesn't really matter what happened with Alistair Johnson making a save.
clears that up, Ian.
Glad that didn't take long. Scott Wright might also be coming on for Rangers as they look to save their derby day somehow.
Yeah, it looks like Seema could be struggling. He's maybe taking one on the cheekbone, or he's definitely looking uncomfortable.
I've got to say, from a Celtic perspective, Joe Hart's perspective, don't show James Tavernier too much of that near post area to hit.
Well, he's been a bit off with his crosses today, James Tavernier, but if ever there was a moment to find his range from a free kick, and we know he can do it, he's done it so many times.
And you've seen that as well. He always positions a couple of players. This situation, it's Todd Campbell, Connor Golson, trying to get them in the eye line of Joe Hart.
A big moment in this match. Rangers need something to happen here, and once again they're relying on their captain. Tavernier straight against the wall. Lundstrom. Tavernier over the head of Dessers, who's offside anyway. The flag is up.
Yeah, he's been off a little bit with the set play delivery this afternoon, James Tavernier. A few free kicks he's not quite got right, putting them into the box, and on this occasion not really getting the ball up enough to get it up and over that Celtic wall.
Todd Cantwell's game is over. He'll be replaced by his former Norwich teammate Kieran Dowell, and it's his first taste of this derby. He's had injury issues.
He's a good player though, Dowell. Celtic have to be watchful. Lovely left foot he's got an eye for a pass.
I'm just looking at now for Rangers, Chris. Who's going to be the one to get up there and get beyond Dessers? Who's going to be the one to go and get a goal?
Johnston. Riley. Johnston. Has he overrun that? Yes.
It's a really poor decision to take the extra touch, whip that one in early.
Yeah, O'Reilly had created the space for him. He had dragged him inside, he had slid Johnston down there, so he just slid it in.
So it's game over for Abdallah Seema as he is replaced by Scott Wright. This is his 9th Old Firm game, and all 9 of those have come as a sub. And David Turnbull is going to come on shortly for Celtic as well. Palmer. And we think it will be Paulo Bernardo who will make way on that yellow card. Would be like for like, position-wise. Lewandowski. Tavernier, Sterling. Minutes to go, and Paulo Bernardo, who got things going with a spectacular strike for Celtic, is about to be replaced by David Turnbull.
Yep, made his mark today, most certainly. Taking him a while to get going in a Celtic jersey.
It's a bad touch. It's a bad touch for Balogun. It just allows Kyogo and Maeda to pounce on him. Kyogo releases Maeda, and you've just got the power and the pace that Maeda's got. Just gets the wrong side of Balogun. There's the touch there, outside of the right foot, and now he's in trouble. And Maeda just gets the wrong side. It's a small pull on him, but he's going straight through and goal, Maeda.
Yeah, and as soon as he's in a foot race, big trouble. In many respects, Kenny, I think he has to make a decision in that time to just let Maeda go through. He's not the greatest finisher in the world, but now Rangers up against it.
Lewis Palmer over and out.
Well, that was very wasteful for the resulting free kick, but you're right here, Chris. I think in that moment that you're just trying to do something, you're trying to salvage the mistake that you've already made, and he just gets a hand on the shoulder of Maeda and pulls him down, which would have been a certain 1v1.
And I suppose it's easy for us up here to say that in the same situation we'd probably do the same thing. Not that you'd be playing at centre-half.
Well, you've done that a few times.
Yeah. Versatile. John Souttar is coming on shortly for Rangers. Brendan Rodgers, Celtic, doing the business on Derby Day again. Looks like it'll be just one defeat in 15 of these.
Yeah, things have just went from bad to worse for Rangers, conceding so early in the second half, where you've had a half-time team thought for your manager, trying to come out here and get back in it. You concede, now down to 10 men, they've got it all to do.
John Lundstrom filling in at centre-half at the moment, but John Souttar will be on shortly, and Ross McCausland.
And the issue Rangers have, of course, is that they have to get after Celtic, press them hard to try and get back in the game, and good chance Celtic will pick them off again.
Lewis Palmer, that turned into quite a pass for Greg Taylor. Pinched by McCausland. The team at the top going into New Year has won the title in 11 of the last 12 seasons. Exception was a couple of years ago when Rangers were 6 points clear, but Ange Postecoglou's Celtic ended up in pole position.
Celtic has still got work to do in this game. Nothing's decided today.
Lewis Palmer. Tumble!
The Rangers are just going to really struggle to deal with Matt O'Reilly and David Turnbull. They're just playing off the shoulders of Dowell and Sterling at the moment, and the results of that, it's hard to get pressure on Callum McGregor. So it's going to be a long 20 minutes for Rangers.
Maeda. Turnbull. Celtic swarming forward. Lundstrom clears only as far as O'Reilly. Turnbull. McGregor. Palmer. One back fairly by Tavernier. Now, if Rangers get this right, Celtic could be in bother, but Nawrocki sorts it out.
Just about he did.
Unorthodox, I would say.
Hey, any which way on a day like this. Yilmaz given away. O'Reilly. Turnbull. Palmer.
He's got to square that Matt O'Reilly. Normally got great awareness, and Goldson gives Palmer one on the way out.
Rangers still waiting to bring on Souttar. Celtic relentless at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to make Rangers really work. Just passing the ball, working out, always finding the spare man in the space.
Johnson in, Kyogo looking to pounce again, but Butland's having that.
His movement once again, Kenny. Top draw, peels off the back of Goldson. And then that explosive little dart in front. Not the contact he wanted.
Yeah, he just drags Goldson with him, that half yard, and as soon as Goldson moves with him, he just darts across the front.
Lundstrom, Dowell. Lundstrom long, popped back by Scales. Dessers will be onto it. Tavernier. Dowell, nobody over there for Rangers.
Yeah, I think from Rangers' perspective, they want to get back in this game. They have to be brave on the ball. They're a man down, of course, but I think those long balls forward, Celtic essentially should be able to deal with them. All they're doing is ending up giving the ball back to Celtic, who are dominating possession.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When Celtic have the ball, they're working so hard to get it back that when they get it, they're just turning it over too quickly.
Well, they had a rethink on who was going to come off. Initially Ross McCausland, but he's staying out there. John Lundstrom replaced by John Souttar, who scored against Celtic at the end of last season. Rangers need someone, anyone, to do that here. Dyson Maida's on his way though. Kyogo's waiting in the middle. Maida's cross. Lost for words on that one.
Well, I think you've seen enough of him, Ian, to realise he is capable of a shank or two.
You know, but initially it was great movement, wasn't it? You know, he comes short, he spins wide, he's got that pace to get in behind. But again, there was nobody really in the box apart from Kyogo. It was going to take a lot to pick him out there and for Kyogo to get an opportunity.
Dowell chases on. Right, Nawrocki.
He's just done enough again. It looked like Scott Wright was just going to get out on the end of that. Nawrocki just with a last kind of ditch lunge, gets outside with the right foot onto the ball. It's a really well timed tackle.
Stephen Welsh had to go off with a shoulder problem, having come into the side in place of the injured Cameron Carter-Vickers. Johnston. Johnston whips it in, cut out by Yilmaz.
Celtic now with the controllers in there.
O'Reilly towards Palmer, knocked down by Tavernier.
Cool defender for Tavernier. A bit floaty that ball there for O'Reilly, trying to pick Palmer out. James Tavernier shows a good calmness just to knock it back to Jack Butland.
I think Alil Abada is about to make his return from injury as a Celtic sub. He might not be the only one coming on. O'Reilly, Turnbull, Palmer. Is O'Reilly just taken off his toes by Sterling. David Turnbull giving away a free kick and not earning a yellow card.
It's a good driving run from Sterling, who did brilliantly initially. There's a good spot from Palmer to pick out O'Reilly. Saw the space. No arguments there.
Alil Abada is coming on. So is O. And so is Mikey Johnson. Next break in play. Dessers. Rangers need a late rally of epic proportions. Dowell. Taylor. Kyogo. So a triple change coming from Brendan Rodgers as we head into the last 10 minutes of a derby that has belonged to Celtic.
Yeah, you see a little interchange there. The seconds before two best players on the pitch, McGregor, O'Reilly.
Yeah, you have to say at this moment in time, Chris, when you're talking about these days and the big players turning up, McGregor, O'Reilly, Kyogo, they've all turned up today.
Certainly hasn't been plain sailing for Celtic this season yet. Top of the league and heading for another derby victory. Rangers staring at their first defeat since Philippe Clement arrived. O'Reilly, he picked out Kyogo! Butland prevents on goal, but the offside flag goes up late.
Yeah, he certainly looked well offside. I know his movement's good and he is sharp and quick, but he would have had to have been very quick to get that far ahead of Conor Goldson.
Here comes that triple change, and that will be Kyogo's last contribution. He scored once again on Derby Day for Celtic. Is coming on for him. Mikey Johnston and Lee Labada also joining us. And this is certainly worth another look for the Celtic fans.
Yep, Neil Lennon said it before the game. Big game player, Kyogo. Enjoys playing against Rangers. What a finish that was.
Isaac Maida has also gone off. Mikey Johnston came on to great effect at Dundee, and Lee Labada makes his return from injury. His last action was in the September Old Firm. Abada is back. So Satate today on the bench, but they might not need him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it now, but you can hear the cheer that Abada's got as he's coming on. He's really, the Celtic fans delighted to see him back on the pitch.
Abada. Helped himself to a few goals in these games, Lee Labada. Sterling.
Yeah, McGregor was putting Sterling under pressure and Sterling just lunges in on Taylor. Genuine attempt to play the ball. Catches him, it's accidental.
Yeah, it was. Listen, it was there to be won. He's just got there first, Taylor. Sterling just catches him.
Shuddered the bones of Greg Taylor.
Tell you what, if you're Rangers, you have to still believe that you can nick a goal and somehow put Celtic under some sort of pressure. If they can get a chance, I have to take it.
Well, this could be one. Dessers has got McCausland joining him, but a fair way back yet. Dessers, it's blocked by Nawrocki.
I don't think he's convinced himself he could go past Nawrocki.
You know, I was expecting him to see that little chop that we've seen a few times over the last month or so, where he kind of shapes the shoot, pulls it back, but again, no, just no real belief in his own ability there.
Abada. Celtic with Johnston. McCausland. And that's going to be a free kick and another yellow card coming out here. I think it was McGregor, was it?
Yeah. Good driving run from McCausland. I've got to say, Alistair Johnson, his delivery in the final third has been woeful.
Well, you've got options there. You can smash it across the box. The goal, I think, always there waiting for that. You've got a cut back because you've got the numbers in the box, and he just chose the wrong one to try and stand up in the back post. Actually set a counter-attack up.
A free kick for the 10 men. Tavernier. Probably could have been left. But O'Reilly has it anyway. Leon Balogun receiving the first red card in 13 Old Firm games. Tavernier deals with Mikey Johnston. Taylor onto it. Yilmaz. Tavernier. Rangers running out of time. He's picked out Dessers though, and Scott Wright running onto it, but Nawrocki in the way.
I must say, he might be rusty and not a lot to gain to, but I thought Nawrocki's had a decent impact on the game, defended certain situations really well.
Dow for Dessers.
Just as we speak.
Is going to be a free kick. Another yellow card coming out. That's 6 for Celtic now.
Yeah. He's trying to nick in front of Dessers, gets too tight. Dessers uses his body well.
Yeah, he's still more clever there, you know, just a little bit rash. Too eager to nick it in front of Dessers.
Can Tavernier find his shooting boots?
Again, I think it's a decent distance, a good angle. I mean, you've got options for this area. Like the first half, you can put it towards the back post to get the runners across Hart, or you can try and whip it in. I think he'll go for the near post this time though.
Well, we've heard there might be 8 minutes added on, so if Rangers can come up with something here, we'd be in for quite the finale. Tavernier! Oh! James Tavernier steps forward again with another fantastic free kick, and Rangers aren't giving up on this yet.
Well, there it is again. You know, I've seen it so many times in a Rangers jersey from James Tavernier. In that area, finding that top corner. The technique this time, it's not been good today, but this time it's absolutely bang on. Joe Hart, no chance, gets a hand on it, but the power beats him. And Rangers now, with 10 minutes to go potentially, have got a chance to salvage something out of this game.
Here's Mikey Johnson though, quickly heading up the other end. No foul. Sterling. Suddenly Rangers have a bit of belief with 8 minutes set to be added on. That's a foul by Dessers though.
Yeah, well, this could get nervy now for Celtic. They have to be brave. Gotta say, the quality of the strike from Tavernier, phenomenal.
Phenomenal again. Scored twice here last season, and the second one was his 100th Rangers goal, but they lost 3-2. Dowell and Sterling up towards Dessers. Scales wins that tussle.
If they're going to get back in it, when that ball goes up to Dessers, it has to stick, and then the support has to come.
Taylor's cross out of reach for O'Reilly. Tavernier scoring with Rangers' first shot on target in the second half. It happens so often now with this man. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, you're looking at what, there's 117 goals now for Rangers for fullback. It's just incredible. The numbers are sensational.
It's their 16th direct free kick goal. I think it's felt like a lot more, to be fair, over the years. Another beauty.
Yeah, this time he gets it perfect. Look at that. Height, direction, power. Gets Rangers back into the game.
And the board is about to go up, but we reckon 8 minutes. Tavernier. Dessers wants the cross. Scott Wright. 8 minutes it is. Celtic scramble it away.
I tell you what, Mikey Johnston switches off so badly. Tavernier runs off the back of him.
The Rangers could be caught short here. Carter racing forward, but straight at Butland.
How greedy was he there?
He's got to release O'Reilly. He's went on the overlap, and there was such an oval. You could see it developing when O received it, and O'Reilly just goes round. He's just got to slide him. He can maybe get the next one back as well if he does.
Rangers not averse to leaving it late. Hearts, Aberdeen, and so on. This would be an unlikely comeback.
You can just sense the panic, not only in the stands, but also in some of the players and the defending. And like you say, you've still got to do your tracking back. There's still work to be done here for Celtic.
One minute down of the extra 8. Kieran Dowell now over towards Ridvan Yilmaz. John Suter, 8 minutes announced over the tunnel here. That went down well. What a ball here for Tavernier to drill across.
There's Johnson again. He switches off that crossfield ball. Before he came on, Tavernier was just not getting out. And now this is a scenario where we know it's not Celtic strength defending corners.
Anxious.
I'm watching Dujon Sterling. He's got to just get himself in there as well.
Anxious times for Celtic. Tavernier's corner over the head of Goldson. Celtic hanging on in there now as Rangers pursue an equaliser in stoppage time. A dramatic end to the derby of derbies. McCausland over there with Johnston.
Yeah, just going back to that last attack when Tavernier was released, Greg Taylor had a right go at Mikey Johnson for not tracking back. I think if I could read his lips, was asking him what is he doing. Now that's a couple of times he had let him get in.
Johnston. Sterling. Causland, Kieran Dowell.
I tell you what, Tavernier at the far post. He'd made a run once again, and had Dowell picked him out, I tell you what, that's a big miss. Watch this. Johnston so unaware.
You can see that, you can see Wright and Tavernier overloaded, and Taylor at that back post. The delivery just needed to be right.
It's horribly wrong from Dowell. Here is Mikey Johnston. Celtic hoping to clinch it. He's made really good progress. And Turnbull, no penalty as Tavernier challenges. The flag is up for offside. Oh, it's that again, the offside flag.
Yeah, got away with one there, I think. Without seeing a replay on this, we'll see it here. Great play for Johnson initially, and a brilliant wee reverse. Oh, great reverse pass again. I'd question the offside, but was that a penalty, Chris? Is that a penalty, Celtic?
Well, is there enough contact for him to go down like that? I'm not so sure there is.
Willie Collins' check is complete at VAR HQ. Halfway through, added on time. Free kick, fouled by Turnbull on Sterling.
Talk about making life difficult for yourselves. That's what Celtic have done.
Celtic's nerves are frayed. All 60,000 of their fans inside Celtic Park. Can Rangers do it? Can Rangers save it? Tavernier towards Suter. Goal kick.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say that kind of delivery, get it in the middle of the box where you can cause absolute carnage. There's so much needs to go right for you when you hit these ones away outside the box, so far away for the goal. You barely just to put it right in the middle of the goal and ask Goldsons and Souters and Dessers to go and fight and scrap for it.
There'll be further treatment required for a man who's needed a bit today, Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, I think he took another one from Suter.
So this will add to the added time and add to the high drama of the closing stages of the new year. Old Firm. Philippe Clement's unbeaten record on the line here. Brendan Rodgers close to yet another victory on this day of days in Glasgow.
Matt O'Reilly's certainly been in the wars, that's for sure. He's taken a broken nose potentially, and then he's taken another one on it. You know, Rangers play have what, maybe 3 minutes to salvage something for this game at the end of this.
And we'll go past the 8 minutes now, and a nail-biting conclusion to this conflict.
See Rangers in a position to press high at Celtic. Havo up top now. As that out ball.
Suter had his eyes on that. Matt O'Reilly has returned again. Celtic's free kick will buy them a bit of time.
Yeah, this is just going to get shaped down the line in at the corner.
I think 9.5 minutes might be the new time added on. Rangers need to get it upfield. It has gone out. Not quite sure what Dessers would have done next had it not gone out.
There's every chance he would have slowed down and missed it.
Suter involved here. Nick Walsh quickly across. Some sort of coming together.
Well, they've had a fair old scrap, haven't they, the two of them, since they've come on there. I think always asking for a free kick. He takes a forearm the back of his neck.
John Suter is going to be... Oh! Let's got the yellow card there then. Suter or Goldson both moved over.
I think it was Goldson for maybe getting involved and trying to pull O up. And somebody else has got a yellow as well. Yeah.
High Celtic line, and Goldson and Suter have pulled on O'Reilly and Turnbull.
Connor Goldson and Suter near that. Connor Goldson, by the way, will face a suspension in January. It's the last game for 6 yellows being a ban today. But he will be suspended for the match against Hibs. Time is almost up. Johnston has it. Oh! Can he get past Yilmaz? He can't. Will there be one last chance for Rangers? Goldson up towards Dessers. Taylor's header. Johnston, Nawrocki. Rangers desperate for one more glimpse of goal. Suter. And that is the moment that this game might have gone from Rangers as we move towards 100 minutes.
I mean, it certainly made it exciting going into the last few minutes with that James Tavernier goal, but Celtic have made it so hard for themselves. They've not even got their foot on the ball and taking control with that extra man.
A matter of seconds, surely. Sterling, Yilmaz, Dessers, away by Scales, and on we go.
Nick Walsh must be enjoying himself out there here.
Let's have another 10 minutes, shall we? Goldson.
Pulled on Taylor, John Suter.
Here comes the whistle. Oh, Brendan Rodgers is back in Glasgow doing what he does, winning Old Firm matches. 2 out of 2 this season, just 1 defeat in 15. Paolo Bernardo's stunning opener got Celtic going. And then there was the customary Derby Day goal, and a cracker at that from Kyogo. Celtic made hard work of it after another phenomenal free kick from James Tavernier set up a frantic finale. Rangers finished with 10 men after Leon Balogun became the first man to see red in 13 Old Firm matches. An eventful encounter to head into the new year, but familiar winners in the shape of Celtic. How would you sum up Derby Day in Glasgow, guys?
Oh, well, it certainly didn't disappoint, did it? Right, Kyogo off at your peril, his goal, absolutely phenomenal. Big game player that he is. Bernardo, his goal in the first half was brilliant, but then Celtic got nervy, didn't they? Tavernier with a wonderful free kick, and nothing's won yet, but a great advert for the Scottish game, I think.
Yeah, it was a wonderful game, you know. Even when Rangers go down to 10 men, you thought that might have been it, and Celtic might have just kept the ball, maybe even got a third. But Rangers dug in, you know, they dug in, and I would say the 3 goals today were of the highest quality. The finish with Bernardo, the sweet strike, the ability for Kyogo to put that into the top corner past Jack Butland, and then James Tavernier does what James Tavernier does. Free kick, dead ball situation, outstanding.
Philippe Clement suffers his first defeat as Rangers manager. Celtic so often unconvincing this season, but mostly convincing until that last bit today. And it's a happy new year to the men in hoops. It ends Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
Ian Kenny, Chris, thank you very much. The scenes of Kyogo there, he just loves it.